Hi, I'm Philip Byer. Thanks for stopping by. Is your business afflicted with the Magoo Syndrome? You know, the cartoon character from years ago? Well, while driving my 3 grown sons to lunch a while back, I looked in my rearview mirror only to see 2 sets of eyes bulging out of my younger sons' heads in the back seat. "Dad, watch where you're going," their big brother Paul hollered from the front seat, white-knuckling the dashboard. We had just missed another what? A lamppost? A mailbox? While I philosophized about politics, the economy, something or other. With the crisis over, the boys wailed with laughter and had another example of me driving like Mr. Magoo. It was mildly rewarding somehow, watching my sons craning their necks and stomping on imaginary brakes at every intersection and lane change as I drove on. Paul, my eldest son, couldn't help commenting, "Dad, you definitely have the Magoo Syndrome when you drive. You seem totally unaware to all the people blowing their horns and giving you bad looks, not to mention certain gestures." Now, if you're old enough, you may remember old Mr. Magoo, the cartoon characters my boys and I enjoyed when they were small. Blind as a bat, the character wore what we called Coke bottle eyeglasses. Regardless, he drove around in his motor car, wreaking havoc wherever he went, oblivious to everything. As debris fell and the cars ran off the road and people running for their lives trying to avoid him. Yet, despite his blindness, somehow Mr. Magoo managed to avoid one near disaster after another. For all my vehicular challenges, it's easy for me to see the Mr. Magoo Syndrome is prevalent with many business owners and managers. Many seem totally unaware or indifferent to the pitfalls, errors, bottlenecks, interruptions, and miscommunications others can see, not to mention the clutter of paper and other materials strewn around their offices and plants. Amazingly, if you bring it to their attention, they're likely to say, yes, I see it, but we're still making a profit. And besides, we don't have time to clean up the mess. That's the way it's always been around here. How can you argue with that logic when a Magoo-type business owner seems somehow to always land on his feet? Well, to tell you the truth, you can't. However, you might remember in the cartoon, while Mr. Magoo was smiling, singing, and enjoying his day, all the while bedlam was breaking out all around him, it was the other people who were the recipients of his erratic and hazardous handling of his vehicle. Those others were the ones crashing into each other, trying to avoid wrecks and having to pay for Mr. Magoo's recklessness. In the real world, being oblivious is not quite as funny as in the Magoo cartoon. The Mr. Magoos in business risk not landing on their feet eventually. They will pay a high premium for failing to pay attention to certain others around them, while they operate as if they haven't a care in the world. Well, there's a cure for the Magoo Syndrome. It's about how to stop the Magoo Syndrome in the business, if you happen to have that affliction. It may be just a pair of glasses is needed to see the chaos around you. However, if you stop and listen, you might hear all those legitimate, frustrated cries of the employee and customer complaints. Hopefully, this would be enough to wake up a Magoo so they would change the way they operate their business. May I suggest, if this is you, before your employees and customers walk out the door, you might take some time to read a few books on how to stop the Magoo Syndrome in the business. I believe as owners or managers, it's our responsibility to make our working environment workable for everyone. As for me, looks like I might benefit from a driver's ed refresher course, another good system. Oh, did I mention great systems work? They really do.